Hello, my name is Abdol Chini, and I'm a professor of construction management at the University of Florida's Rinker School of Construction Management. And I'm presenting this paper using the circular economy to manage construction waste. This paper is based on research done by Riann Gonzalez, who was my former student and currently is working at Holder Construction in Atlanta, Georgia. Our presentation will be divided into, first we talk about the research question, the methodology we used, and we talk a little bit about construction and demolition waste in the United States. Then we define the circular economy, and based on that we make several recommendations to use circular economy in C&D waste reduction. We also discuss barriers to implementation. The research question is that how can we use the practice of a circular economy to reduce the amount of construction and demolition waste that is generated and going to landfills. Our methodology is mix of quantitative and qualitative research. In quantitative part, we collect and gather recent construction and demolition waste statistics in the United States. For the qualitative part, we look at case studies on countries that have been successful in adopting the circular economy in reduction of construction waste. And also we look at different policies and mandates that are related to building green and waste reduction. There are three issues that this paper basically addresses. One is increasing construction and demolition waste due to increase in population and urbanism. We know that more population and more urbanism requires more infrastructure, more housing, and more construction. And that affects the amount of waste that's generated due to new construction as well as demolition of the old construction. The second one is that our natural resources are limited. When we talk about non-renewable material, their amount is limited. So if we consume the way we're consuming, there would be a day that we do not have enough natural resources. So use of reuse and recycling of existing material would be essential. Finally, the limited land available for landfill and the impacts of landfill, environmental impacts of landfill, is another point that would be interesting to address. In 2015, this is the latest data that we have, 548 million tons of construction and demolition waste was generated in the United States. 90% of this construction and demolition waste was due to demolition and renovation, and only 10% was due to new construction. Of these materials, C&D waste generated, 70% were concrete, 15% asphalt concrete, 7% wood products, and the rest was asphalt shingles, brick, clay tile, steel, drywall, and plasters, and other miscellaneous ones. The difference between linear economy and circular economy, that in linear economy, after resource extraction and production and distribution of material and its consumption, either at building or other parts, then it will be, the remainder will be wasted, and when the life of the product is over, basically it's going to be waste and landfill. Whereas in circular economy, after the life is over, it will be recycled and will be used by production of the same material or other type of material. Now, there are several ways that circular economy could be used to reduce construction and demolition waste. One is called cradle to cradle. Example is that, for example, Shaw carpet in the United States, any carpet that's life is over could be completely 100% recycled into new carpet. So this is basically cradle to cradle. The next one is reduce, reuse, recycle, or 3R, that overall the effort is to reduce consumption, and if that the second one to reduce waste, and the second one would be to reuse material after demolition or after deconstruction, and finally the third one would be recycle. So these are the ways to avoid sending materials to landfill. The third one is extending producer responsibility. It means that a manufacturer or producer is not only responsible for making the product and selling it for use in construction or industry, whatever, then they also have to think about what will happen to the product after its life is over and have a plan for that. For example, for car industry, Mercedes-Benz is responsible to collect and recycle all cars after their life is over. Now, looking at 3R, or even extending it to a waste management hierarchy, the first one is reduce. It means that we should have a kind of design for standard size building supplies, and like doors, windows, and others. The next one is selecting modular or prefabricated materials. The third one is reduce packaging. The fourth one is provide accurate estimating and ordering to reduce waste due to new construction. When it's come to reuse, one approach would be to reuse the existing building by remodeling rather than demolition. You can use the same building, remodel it for a different purpose. The second one, if the building cannot be reused completely, maybe its components and systems, elements and systems, like a structural system could be reused, or plumbing, lighting, and other system could be reused. And the third one would be reusing materials like brick or wood, or materials could be reused in another project. Recycle would be when you want to either upcycle it. It means that if it is red wood, for example, and in the form of lumber, you can recycle it and make it in for flooring or for cabinet. This is a kind of upcycling. Recycle means changing, recycling steel into production of new steel. And downcycling is, for example, recycled concrete, when concrete will be crushed into aggregate and will be used for base or sub-base. After 3R, then composting. Composting, the other one would be incineration with energy recovery, or incineration. The final thing would be landfill. So based on that, our recommendation for circular economy and construction and demolition waste are: 1, making C&D waste recycling mandatory. The second one, using a minimum percentage of materials with recycled content. And then requiring construction and demolition waste management plan for any project and pre-demolition audit. Finally, taxing virgin materials and taxing landfilling construction and demolition waste to encourage people using them. Reward the use of circular economy design practices, and finally banning landfill and C&D material resource recovery facility. It means that having a facility that people who want to recycle their material, there is a place that they can go and sell their product. On the other hand, those who need C&D materials, there is a place that they know they carry those and they can go and buy what they need. Now, there are some barriers for implementation of circular economy and C&D waste. One is use and access of recycled and reused material. Right now it's limited. Then there should be plenty of them available for people who want to use them. Building code currently do not allow use of them, And finally, perception of quality, which means that some people think if something is being recycled or used, have lower quality. In conclusion, we have also to think about feasibility of circular economy and its practicality. One important factor is timeline to implementation, because these things will not happen very quickly. There needs to be an infrastructure for that in order to happen. Thank you for listening to this presentation.